you tired of your kitchen feeling builder basic and you're ready to elevate things to make it feel magazine worthy? Well, today I'm going to help you take your kitchen from boring and builder grade all the way to high end, looking like you hired a luxury designer, through sharing with you 6 of the hottest kitchen design trends for 2026 that's going to upgrade your space. We're going to get right into it with one of the most obvious, but honestly one of the most powerful choices that you can make in your kitchen design, and that is your choice of kitchen cabinets. And I'm about to share some data that's frankly gonna shock you. According to MasterBrand's annual kitchen survey of over 7,000 kitchen dealers, that's people that are actually selling kitchen cabinets, they say that white cabinets have dropped from the #1 spot, which it held for over a decade. And get this, they didn't drop just to #2, they dropped all the way to #3. That's right, third choice in terms of which cabinet colors people are picking the most of. So what's taking over? Well, unless you've been hiding under a rock, it's definitely going to be those natural wood tones. And I'm sure you've seen by now natural matte, light oak, color wood in terms of kitchen design and kitchen cabinets. That is all over the place, but there's other wood tones too that are going to be in style next year. We're also seeing a resurgence of walnut kitchen cabinets. That is a beautiful wood color that is typically darker stained. Some people are also just using regular oak and staining it a mid-tone or a deep chocolate brown. Anything from a light oak to a deep brown, all of those colors in between are definitely becoming more popular. Stephanie Pierce, who works at MasterBrands, says wood is definitely making a full comeback, but not in that rustic farmhouse way that we saw a few years ago. She's talking about a refined, more sophisticated approach to these natural wood tones. And you can do anything from a light and bright white oak that's stained a very light color, or if you want something more dramatic, you can use a walnut that's stained a darker wood tone. You can also go somewhere in the middle and do a natural oak with some Roman clay undertones to bring out the richness of the wood, or you can choose a soft beige that has a lot of neutral wood tones, and it definitely, you want to avoid a lot of the yellow undertones that we saw in those honey oak cabinets in the past. Stay away from the yellow and the orange undertones and you'll be good to go. And here is a design tip if you want to save some money on your kitchen cabinets. Everybody is oohing and eyeing over white oak right now, but did you know you can actually choose a red oak and stain it a color of your choice to have those beautiful wood grains, and it's not necessarily going to look red. It's also going to be much more budget friendly because red oak is less expensive than white oak right now. And you don't need to rip out all your cabinets to try this trend. If you already have wood tone cabinets, maybe you have a honey oak like a lot of us did, or maybe a reddish wood like I did previously in my kitchen, then you actually can try some different stains to adjust the color on your cabinets, and that way you can try this out without actually ripping anything out. Oh, and if you're new around here, you don't know me, my name is Carrie. I am a self-taught interior designer, as well as founder of the blog Penny Modern. And I am curious, do you prefer that light white oak color, or are you really loving a walnut or a darker wood tone? Let us know down in the comments below. Now that you're gonna ditch the builder grade cabinets, well, guess what? Just switching to wood tones in terms of your cabinet color isn't enough to give you that designer look. You really need to add that wow factor. And that means you might need to take a risk that a lot of homeowners may not be willing to take. And that's what this next trend is all about. 2026 is gonna be a year where gone are the days of just a small pop of color on your island is going to be the only color that you have in your kitchen. Designers are starting to embrace full color cabinetry in all different shades, not pastels, but we're talking about bold tone shades from deep indigo blue to rich earthy greens. And I'm not talking just about an accent like a backsplash. I'm talking about full walls of cabinets around the perimeter We're talking about your island as well as your pantry cabinet, full-on cabinet banks and walls in this beautiful, rich color, especially these greens and blues that we're gonna see next year. The National Kitchen and Bath Association released their 2026 Kitchen Trend Report, and honestly, the numbers are mind-blowing. 86% of designers are saying that green is making a huge comeback. It's not really a trend, it's almost a movement. And 51% of these people surveyed are favoring colors such as emerald, juniper, as well as, and get this, even pinks, purples, and oranges are emerging in high-end design projects. Colors that were considered absolutely crazy and nuts a couple years ago are turning up in multi-million-dollar design projects. Celebrity homes are no exception, and in fact, they're leading the way in embracing these beautiful, bold colors in kitchens. Kathy Hilton has a beautiful kitchen remodel that she has shown, and it is absolutely gorgeous in these indigo blue kitchen cabinets that were designed by Nicole Gordon's studio. And these were featured by Homes and Gardens, and they were called the cool color trend of 2026. I mean, when Kathy Hilton of the Hilton Hotels franchise is going bold with color, this is not just a passing fad. Meanwhile, Stanley Tucci, another celebrity, has a beautiful kitchen remodel that's featuring a gorgeous smoky blue gray color that is absolutely gorgeous and looks totally luxurious. And here's the other thing that we're seeing a ton of, and we will continue to in 2026, and that is definitely this idea of mixed finishes, even in cabinet colors. People are definitely doing a different colored cabinet in terms of their island and the rest of their kitchen, meaning the perimeter. And then also I'm seeing a ton of people installing a coffee bar or some kind of a bank of storage cabinets that's a different contrasting color than the rest of their kitchen cabinet. We're also seeing that trend of mixing things up in things like fixtures and finishes such as metallics, so blending and mixing different types of metal, having different types of metal in terms of your pulls and handles and your faucet and other types of fixtures and your lighting. Those can be different finishes and colors as well. So I'm curious to know, would you guys go a bold green or a bold blue in terms of your kitchen cabinet colors? What is your top pick if you had to choose today to redo your kitchen cabinets in any color you wanted? What would it be? Let us know down in the comments below. Now that you've picked the perfect color for your kitchen cabinets, whether that's a beautiful bold color or maybe a natural wood tones or maybe a little bit of both, then this one is going to be something that you actually don't see in a lot of high-end kitchens. And that is something standing directly behind me, and that is these bulky, hulking stainless steel appliances. Yes, hidden appliances are definitely on trend, especially in luxury design, and if you want to have that custom look to your kitchen. And that is something that you can immediately tell when you go into a new build home or builder grade home. Really, they just kind of put in random appliances and you can definitely see them. They are not panel ready whatsoever. But in these builder grade homes or a lot of typical homes, you definitely see the appliances and they're really standing out and sticking out like a sore thumb. And it really can ruin the flow of your space, especially if you have those beautiful natural woods and you have these beautiful colors, and then you have this big hulking appliance sticking out in the middle of your kitchen. Luxury designers and most interior designers are definitely pushing for these panel ready appliances. Today, even more than any other day, we have a lot of higher end appliances that have these panels that you can buy from your cabinet maker that is going to look like the rest of your cabinetry. And you can get a refrigerator like that. You can get your dishwasher like that and get a panel ready dishwasher. You also want to try to do things like hiding your microwave and putting that into a cabinet. And then also most people are definitely doing a custom hood in their higher end homes, which is hiding their hood vent. Really, a lot of times the only appliance that you actually see when you walk into some of these luxury or celebrity kitchens is a stove. Using these panel-ready appliances really allows you, when you walk into a kitchen, to really see the cohesive design and beauty of the space that you've created versus having your view interrupted by these appliances. The other thing that's really happening is we still have a lot of open concept homes where you have the living, dining, and kitchen all together. I think what people want is a more beautiful and cohesive space and a kitchen that just looks like cabinetry where you can't really see the appliances, because you're gonna be having your kitchen display to everybody that comes in your home when you have these open concept spaces. And that National Kitchen and Bath Association report also confirms that panel-ready appliances are one of the fastest growing features that clients are requesting from designers. The whole goal of this trend is definitely to remove the visual clutter from your kitchen and have that seamless experience. The eye goes towards the features and the colors and the cabinetry and the countertops that you've selected versus being distracted by all this stainless. How can you incorporate this? Well, when you are remodeling, or if you're just upgrading your appliances, you should look for panel-ready appliances or something called an integrated appliance. Yes, they definitely cost a bit more upfront, but the impact is very much having a stunning, cohesive look. You're having full functionality of your appliance and then also having a beautiful appearance as well. It might be worth it to you. You would have your cabinet maker make a panel that's for your refrigerator or your dishwasher or maybe a microwave drawer that's going to match the rest of your cabinetry so everything is seamless once you install it. And this can be the difference to make your kitchen look like it's in a custom home or it's been professionally designed versus just builder grade basic. Now that we've hidden all our appliances away, you might be thinking, Carrie, isn't that going to make my kitchen feel pretty flat, pretty boring, and very minimalist and bland? No, not if you embrace this next trend, which is what I call adding soul back to your kitchen and adding some personality. But before we explore that trend, I did want to make sure you knew about my free resource, which is my kitchen budget worksheet. If you're planning a kitchen remodel or renovation, you definitely need this. It's going to help you build your budget, and it's going to have pretty much every line item that you might need. And that way you can build a budget and figure out what is the project going to cost you. Get yours for free today, and that is at pennymodern.com/kitchen, and the link is down in the description. Let's be honest, a lot of kitchens that we see on Instagram or on Pinterest, they can look perfect and beautiful, but a lot of times you might think, I would be afraid to cook in there, and I really wouldn't want to hang out there with my family because it doesn't feel very cozy. That sterile and showroom feeling is not very inviting, and that's not what we really want when we're designing our kitchens, right? We want to show our personality. We want to have it be a little bit different, and that is definitely going to be coming to life in 2026. Designers are definitely bringing back a ton of warmth, character, and personality, and they're doing it in a lot of different ways. It's not just about adding a bunch of tchotchkes or adding signage or having a lot of plants or something like that. You don't want it to look cluttered at all. Kate Marker Interiors as well as Becky Owens are definitely helping to lead this trend, and they're all over Instagram, and if you see them, you probably know what I mean. They're adding beautiful details to their homes that they design, and that would be custom millwork, or maybe they're adding fluting to islands, or they're also adding different hardware on shelving, or they're using antique sconces or light fixtures to really add that personality and a vintage feel even to new custom homes. You can also do this through something like a beadboard paneling, or you could have some fluting on your drawers. And speaking of fluting, people are adding fluting to marble, and they're putting it in all different kinds of places, such as in a custom range hood. Or you can add tons of texture to a kitchen through using things like a basket weave tile, or even the Zalige tiles, which are a handmade tile that each one is a little bit unique. We're definitely going to see that trend continue into next year. The key is really selecting some finishes and some paneling or built-in areas of your home that have an element of texture to them, and it's not just smooth, sleek surfaces everywhere. So adding those unique textures is what's going to give personality to your space, as well as add a lot of depth and visual interest so your place does not look builder grade and boring. So if you're excited about having custom millwork or maybe some fluting or just anything that adds a ton of texture to your space, hit that like button to let me know if you agree. Now that you have added some warmth and character and made your kitchen look very custom, there's one more element that you're definitely going to need to incorporate into your space to make it look like a designer designed it. And honestly, it's probably one of the more underrated design elements of all kitchen design. Well, if you haven't guessed it, we're actually talking about kitchen countertops. And that is one of the design elements that's gone from being something in the background to being in the main event of your kitchen design. In 2026, countertops are not just something that you're gonna be prepping food on, or maybe the kids are doing their homework on, or these are now a major design element for pretty much any kitchen, as that is because a lot of people are taking the countertop material and they're taking it up the wall, they're putting it on their hood vent, they're using it throughout the entire kitchen design. So it's gotta be something really beautiful, and I would recommend it being somewhat of a showstopper. For many years, people probably didn't even pick their countertops first when they were designing their kitchen. It was almost an afterthought after picking out their kitchen cabinets. And a lot of people just decided to do something safe, something that was very neutral, maybe just a builder basic granite, or maybe just something that's a white, or maybe it's just something very neutral, right? But here is the thing. If you just go for safe and boring, it's definitely not going to give you that wow factor, that OMG, it looks like a designer designed it factor if you do safe and boring. Sometimes you gotta take risks. And top designers like Becky Owens are very bold veining and very beautiful natural stones. I'm talking about high contrast marble with deep veining. You've got the oxblood red. We've got all different kinds of marble, and we also have quartzite is becoming super hot, and we're going to continue to see it grow in popularity in 2026. And the one thing that we're going to see wane and go out the door are some of the quartzes that look very fake, very man-made. Those are something that people are going to get away from as people are embracing things that look more natural. They're going to go to real natural stone. A lot of people don't want to use real natural stone because of the maintenance and because they're afraid of the staining and stuff like that. There is a different product that you can get these coatings and sealers on them. One is called Tough Skin. It is an added cost, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's gonna extend the life of your marble or your stone countertops, and you're gonna have to worry about them way less. Quartz is definitely still a very popular choice, and in that kitchen trend report, it was 78% of people are preferring to use quartz, and a lot of that again is because it has a very low amount of maintenance required. But a lot of designers, especially when you're planning a kitchen island, they're using real natural stone that really is making a statement. Some people are doing a mix, so you can do a different countertop on the perimeter of your kitchen and have a different material or a stone on the island in the middle and have a little bit of contrast. That's definitely going to be something we're going to continue to see into next year. And I really like that idea because it's going to give you the best of both worlds, especially if you can't decide between a lighter stone and a darker stone. You could opt for both and use one on the island and one on the perimeter. Using these bold natural stones, or even a man-made stone that has some bold veining on it, it really creates a focal point and a centerpiece of your kitchen that you want to base the rest of your design around. So that because of that, you actually should pick the countertops first when you're planning your kitchen design and actually make your design around it, because you might need to take the undertones or the colors from that countertop and echo them, or at least have other colors contrast or go with your countertop colors in order to have a cohesive and beautiful high-end looking design. If you're not gung-ho about using a crazy oxblood red or violet veining in terms of a beautiful Calcutta marble on your kitchen, you might want to just opt for a quartz that has some interesting veining instead and just take baby steps. And then a lot of designers are definitely going to be using a more dramatic piece of countertop in the middle in terms of the island, and then have something that's less dramatic and a little bit more neutral along the perimeter. And that's another way that you can take baby steps into getting that bold designer look for your kitchen. Now that you have some bold choices for your kitchen in terms of the materials and those kind of selections, I do want to bring up this next trend, which is more about the function of your kitchen. Let me ask you something, and I'm being really serious here. Do you actually use your kitchen every single day? Do you make your coffee in the same little corner of your kitchen? Or maybe you make your smoothies in that other corner. Or maybe you pay your bills at your island or your peninsula. Or maybe you feed your dog in the kitchen as well. If you're nodding along and saying, yep, I definitely do all that stuff in my kitchen, then you definitely need to make sure your kitchen design supports how you actually are going to use your kitchen and function in your kitchen, not just solely on how it looks. So this final trend is all about what designers are calling lifestyle zones for your kitchen. These are dedicated spaces so you can have your daily rituals and routines in a dedicated space that's custom designed for that use. That National Kitchen and Bath Trend Report definitely reports a huge rise in requests from clients to designers for as well as smoothie bars or beverage stations in their kitchen, just for that purpose-built reason. There's also people that are making choices to have different built-in pet feeding stations, as well as having a place in terms of their kitchen island or peninsula that is specifically for putting your laptop, or having different types of charging stations so people can do their homework and do some work there. And then other times we're also building in things like conversation nooks, or maybe built-in seating or banquettes that are into a breakfast nook, and maybe there's storage underneath. So we're seeing a lot of these custom enhancements in a kitchen instead of just those builder basic features. What we're seeing is the evolution of the kitchen into a home hub where people are doing a majority of their living in their kitchen space. You really need to design it for more than just cooking. It's really become the heart of the home and the heart of how we live on a day-to-day basis. So what does this actually look like? You could add a coffee bar. Here I have my coffee maker that's a Ninja coffee maker, and I have my mugs, and I have some different coffee supplies underneath. Some people are making it much more elaborate, and they're having a little sink and then a little fridge and having their milks in there and having their syrup bar and everything like that. Other people are designing custom drawers that have charging stations in them, which is something that I definitely want to do when we remodel our kitchen, and that way you can charge all your devices instead of having them all over your countertop. The beautiful thing is you don't necessarily need to rip out and redesign your entire kitchen to make one of these zones or kitchen zones that are going to help enhance your daily life. You can just do something like I did, where I took this cabinetry and decided I was going to dedicate this to our coffee space. I added some shelves above it and I called it a day. That's something that you could consider if you do have some idle wall space in your kitchen that's going to be purpose built for something that you always do every day anyways, such as making your smoothie or making your coffee and having a special zone for that. I would love to know what kind of a lifestyle zone that you would like to add to your kitchen. Would you love a coffee bar? Would you like a wine bar? Would you like a homework station or a pet station? Let us know down in the comments below what is on your list for your dream kitchen lifestyle zone. Even if you follow all of these trends and embrace them to design your dream kitchen in 2026, there still could be some upgrades that you're considering wondering that you're not sure if they're really worth the money, if you are, I wanted to show you this next video right here, which is all about kitchen upgrades that people actually regret and they might not be worth your money. So watch this next video here and I'll see you in the next video.